Hello, comrades. Kami Bro here today with Black and White, the original Black and White, hence the definitely older graphics and whatnot. Yes, this was the God game that got me into God games. Let me tell you, this game, when it first came out, was the ish. And in my opinion, it still is. It still is a really good game that hasn't exactly gotten a lot of credit where, in my opinion, credit's due for the impact it's had on the God game genre. And honestly, ever since, like, Black and White 2, there hasn't really been a good God game successor. Like, Black and White 2 was a good game to a degree. I don't know. It didn't have as much personality as this one did. It didn't have a lot of the statistics or care that this one felt like. And there's something really limiting about not having armies in this game. So that's like another huge difference between the two, was that in Black and White 1, you don't have armies. In Black and White 2, you do. So there's fighting and combat involved. So it's actually really easy to capture other towns and whatnot. So, yeah. But anyway, let me explain how this game works. For those who've never played Black and White, they're very unfamiliar with it. By the way, this game is basically abandonware at this point in time. So, like, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying to pirate it or anything, but it's not exactly easy to find, if you know what I mean. Thankfully, I still have my disc copy of it, so yeah, that's how we're doing this right now. But it is very, very hard to find this game anyway. So basically, it's abandonware. Just saying that for those who might be interested in it. Anyway, so basically, in Black and White, you are a god, as quite clearly stated previously. You have a temple, you have people who believe in you, you gather worship, blah blah blah. The main idea of this is a skirmish map that I'm playing here. There's a story mode, and that's kind of the main mode of the game, but I like the skirmish mode because it's just, you know, it's easy. You don't have to worry with the story. I haven't unlocked my creature, which everyone gets a creature, all the gods anyway. As you can see here, this is a tiny creature. They can actually grow gigantic, and they become monumental. Like, basically, almost like maybe half the size of this little mountain here. They become fucking huge as you feed them and grow them, and they grow strong through fighting and whatnot. They learn miracles and stuff like that. It's really cool. Very in-depth how that part works. So, basically, you've got your believers, your followers, and whatnot. As you can see, these people want houses. So, by God, we're going to give it to them. Yes, we're going to build them some houses. So, basically, to build houses, as you just saw me do, I picked up the little scaffolds there. One scaffold is a tiny house. 2 scaffolds is like the big houses. 3 scaffolds and up are varying building types, which, if you want to know what they are, you can click right here.
Scroll through some of these info signs.
Yes, that's my consciousness.
Hold the action button on the text and move up or down. Any information you read on one of these is added to the library in the temple.
Alright, so yeah. Anyway, as you can see right here that we have the list of things that happen as the more scaffolds you create. And, yeah, so that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. The main goal, like I said, of this game is to actually conquer all the other towns, essentially through belief, and destroy your opponent, which I managed to do the other day. Now, these games are not short. They do take a while. So, be prepared to strap in and, you know, play a game. Here's an example of a town that's not under my godly dominion. As we can see here, it's a little Viking village, like little Nords as they run around doing what they do. They have no food, so it would probably benefit them to receive food. I'm, however, not going to give away my food so lightly. It is my food and no one else's. What we are going to do, though, is we're going to need wood. However, wood is the most limited resource in Black and White 1. Whereas in Black and White 2, it's ore. So, in this game, what I like to do is I like to take the trees out of the forest outside of the cities, and I like to plant them around my town. What happens when you plant trees together is over time, new forests are grown. So it benefits you to actually take those trees out and plant them inside of your cities. They're closer, they're easier to grab, and hopefully you have a renewable resource. If you take down all the trees in an area, just like in real life, there will no longer be trees. So you need to make sure that there's actually enough trees in the area to, you know, basically for more trees to grow. And I think that might be, do we think that's enough trees? I think that's enough trees for that little growth patch there, but I'm going to flop another one down here. We need to get one of these people. This gentleman here, we're going to make a disciple builder.
Disciple builder.
Which means that basically for the rest of his life, all he's going to do is build things. We're going to make this guy a disciple craftsman. And what he's going to do is he's going to spend the rest of his life building scaffolds for us. And we're also, this little town here we own, but we have no villagers in. We're going to build a tiny little tent. Like a little, what do they call those? Wigwams? I can't remember. I think it's wigwams. Well, basically, he's going to go and they're going to build wigwams. And we're going to take her, and we're going to move her over here. And she's going to live in this town.
Disciple builder.
This is her new town. And see, when you swap her over to the new town, she becomes whatever culture it is in that town. So this being like Indians, like Native Americans. So we got that. Move over. Let's give her some wood to help her with her construction projects so she doesn't have to run around too much. Alright, that should be enough. Right? Alright. Alright, so let's take some of these sheepies and let's go sacrifice them for food. But we need more food. You can never have too much food in this game. Seriously, food is actually like... You always want to make sure when you're playing black and white that you have a secure amount of food. So what I like to do is you see these little patches here. Kind of hard to tell, but let me show you. And we'll at the same time I'll show you what a miracle does. This is just a water miracle, which basically just rains a little bit of water down. And as you can see, we have a field growing right there. That's right. So basically we have 6 fields, and that means that our people are well fed, hopefully. If they start to have feeding issues, you can look around the map and find animals and whatnot, or if you're near an enemy town, you can steal their food. I totally do it all the time. If I can. It makes the game a lot easier. There's also a day and night cycle in this game. I don't know if you can in this game like you could in the last one. No, you can't. And Black and White 2, you can actually reach up in the sky and change the time of day, because the differing times of day have a more impact than they do in this one. In this one, it's basically just saying, oh yeah, it's nighttime so your people are asleep, or it's daytime so your people are awake. In that one, there's actually like working schedules, happiness schedules, rest time. So, you know, in the afternoons people rest, at nighttime people sleep, and your happiness of your village is actually affected by that. Honestly, Black and White 2 is a lot easier than this game. This game is actually kind of hard, all things considered. Black and White 2 is pretty simplistic and straightforward in how it works. And look at these little, like, makeshift horses. Drop them! We need more food. Oh, well, that one provided plenty of food. Oh, well, that worked out nicely. Alright, so, let's take some more of this wood. Let's drop it on the crafts workshop. Because what we need to try to do is we need to try to get 3 scaffolds so that we can make a village store. That right there is a village store. You know, obviously it stores the food and the wood. So, we want to be able to make one of those and put it in our new Indian village so that they have a place to store their food and wood, obviously. Pretty straightforward stuff here. not exactly rocket science, I promise. I promise. The main problem I'm having, though, is we do have very little wood. We need more wood. Grow, trees, grow. Give me something to work with. Honestly, a lot of times you can just kind of let the game play by itself. And even then in the story mode, there's maps where there's like, you don't have to worry about other gods. So you don't really have to worry about like challenging yourself. And that's actually one thing they didn't put in this game that, God, I wish they did, was just like a sandbox mode. Like, I would prefer this map to not have anybody on it at all. Like, and just be me trying to conquer all these towns. Because this dude's a dick. And he will ruin your day. Or you can be the dick. I mean, it depends on what you're doing, what's going on in the world, right? But, yeah, so, I mean, that's one thing they didn't put in. And even then, I wish they would make a Black and White 3. I'm a huge fan of God games, especially good ones. And while Black and White 2 was fun, it wasn't the best. And I'm sure, like, most of the population of people who actually play God games would probably agree with me on that one, is that it wasn't the best. Whereas, considering it was following up this game, which was arguably the best God game ever made, which, my opinion, is very valid. I do think that is the case. I think this is the best God game to come out of the market. I mean, yeah, you've got Populous and whatnot, and, there's some newer God games coming out, but, like, Goddess compared to this game is a fucking joke. It is a joke. Oh, did we just sit him down? Okay, well, I guess we'll put him back over here. Until we actually build it, I suppose. Whatever. Alright, well. But yeah, I mean, that's just my 2 cents. I could ramble on for days if I wanted to. You know me. You guys know me. You know I do. I do what needs to be done from time to time. And I think we need to have more babies. What do you guys think? Disciple breeder.
Disciple breeder.
There we go. So this is just kind of a look at Black and White. It's a really simple game. I love this game. This is one of my favorite games of all time. I really didn't even show like miracles or like, rock throwing or stuff like that. Here, let me just show you real quick how to throw a rock. Ah, yeah. And see that rock? That rock can fuck buildings up. Like, no kidding. Hey, look, you see this little Nord village over here? I'm about to show you what it can do. And let's just roll that on over the hill there. Boom! Boom! Hey, yeah, look at that. You see that? Bust a hole right through it. Bust a hole right through it. So that's Black and White. And, yeah, I love this game. This game is great. It's classic. This is definitely one of those formative games that I played when I was a kid. And that I still play today if I get the time and chance. Back when Lionhead was actually a good studio and it wasn't just known for making a bunch of Fable games, half of which suck. Just saying. But, yeah. Anyway, so this has been Kamisabro. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you guys would like to see something more from Black and White, like maybe even a look at Black and White 2, I can show you guys that. I do have that game as well. And just request it, and I'll do it. I'm like a $2 the whore up here, man. Anyway, it's been Kamisabro, and I'll see you guys next time.